Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Made Easy Slow Listening Practice for Intermediates. I'm Tom, your host, and today we have a fun and useful topic, airports. Yes, airports can be confusing, sometimes stressful, but also full of funny and interesting experiences.
Hi, Tom. Thank you for having me again. I'm really excited because I love traveling, but airports, well, they can be tricky.
Exactly, Lisa. And that's why today we will not only talk about vocabulary, but also share real stories that every foreigner might face. Some situations are a little stressful, and some, well, very funny.
Oh, yes, I have a few funny airport stories, and today I hope our listeners can learn some practical tips while having fun with us.
Absolutely. Before we start with stories, let's have a small chat. How do you feel when you arrive at the airport, Lisa?
Honestly, sometimes I'm very excited, but other times I feel a little lost. There are so many signs, gates, and people rushing around. It's like a small city.
Yes, I know that feeling. And sometimes, even when we think we understand English well, airport announcements can confuse us.
Exactly. For example, I remember the first time I flew to another country. I couldn't understand the boarding announcements at all. I stood there for 5 minutes trying to read the signs and listen carefully. It was so funny and stressful.
Oh no, that's a classic. And don't worry, listeners. This happens to everyone at least once. The important thing is how you handle it.
Yes, and in that situation, I asked a staff member politely, "Excuse me, could you tell me where gate 23 is?" And they were very helpful. So don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly. Asking politely is always a good strategy. Okay, let's talk about some vocabulary listeners will hear a lot in airports.
Yes, words like check-in, boarding pass, gate, luggage, security, passport control, and announcement.
Right. These are the basics. And today, we will see how to use them naturally in real situations, not just memorize words.
Yes, that's the key. For example, check-in is not just a word, it's an action. You go to the counter, give your ID, your flight information, and sometimes even your luggage.
Exactly. And luggage. Oh, I always have a story with luggage. Sometimes the weight limit confuses people, or you accidentally take someone else's bag.
Yes, airports are full of little surprises. That's why today, listeners, we will talk about real examples, funny mistakes, and how to solve them.
Perfect. And don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just listen, enjoy, and notice the situations and solutions.
Yes, and maybe laugh a little too. Airports can be stressful, but also fun if you know what to do.
Okay, Lisa, let's move to a situation many travelers face. Security control. You know, when you have to put your liquids, electronics, and bag on the conveyor belt.
Oh, yes. I remember my first time. I was so nervous. I had my laptop in the bag, my water bottle, and then the security alarm went off. I thought, oh no, what did I do wrong?
That's a classic. What happened next?
Well, the officer asked me politely, could you please remove your laptop and liquids? And I realized I had packed everything too quickly. So, lesson learned, always prepare your items before you reach security.
Exactly. And for our listeners,
Here's some vocabulary: conveyor belt, security officer, liquids, electronics, metal detector.
Yes, and one funny tip. Don't be like me. I once had my shoes make a loud noise in the metal detector. Everyone looked at me, and I just smiled awkwardly.
That's so relatable. And it's okay to feel a little embarrassed. The important thing is to stay calm.
Absolutely. And another tip, sometimes you may not understand everything the officer says. Don't panic, just ask politely, "Could you repeat that, please?"
Yes, that's a very useful phrase. Repeat after me, listeners. Could you repeat that, please?
Perfect. And now let's talk about boarding. After security, you have your boarding pass ready, right?
Yes. And sometimes the announcements are very fast. I remember a flight where the staff said, "Gate 12, final call," and I had to run.
I've been there too. And one time, I went to the wrong gate because the number changed at the last minute. So always check the screens and listen carefully.
Good advice. Vocabulary here: gate, boarding pass, final call, flight number, seat number.
Yes. And here's a funny story. A friend of mine thought the boarding call said gate 21, but it actually said gate 12. He ran across the airport like crazy.
That's amazing. Airports are full of little surprises. And for listeners, don't worry about mistakes. They happen to everyone. The key is to stay calm and ask for help.
Exactly. And another tip, when you board, sometimes people are confused about where to put their luggage. Don't push or get angry. Just say politely, "Excuse me, may I put my bag here?"
Great. And vocabulary again: overhead bin, carry-on, luggage, aisle, seat.
Yes, these words are very important. And the more you practice them in real situations, the easier airports become.
Exactly. And don't forget, listeners, airports can be stressful, but they can also be fun and full of stories to tell.
Yes, and sometimes funny stories are the best way to remember vocabulary and phrases.
Okay, Lisa, now let's talk about a situation many travelers find funny or a little embarrassing: asking for help at the airport.
Oh, yes, I remember this. I was looking for the restroom, but all the signs were confusing. I asked an airport employee and I said, "Where is the bathroom?" But I said it too fast, and he looked at me with a big question mark.
Oh no. What happened next?
Well, I quickly repeated slowly, "Excuse me, where is the bathroom, please?" And he smiled and pointed me in the right direction. Lesson learned: speak slowly and clearly.
Exactly. And for our listeners, key phrases here: excuse me, please, can you help me, I'm looking for, and directions.
Yes. And another funny moment, I once asked a staff member where the gate was, and I misread the number. I ended up walking to the wrong gate for 10 minutes before someone told me.
Airports are like mini adventures sometimes, and these stories make English learning more memorable.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about customs and immigration. This can be stressful for beginners.
Yes, I remember my first time. I had to answer questions about my trip. I was nervous and said, "I am here for holiday vacation."
That's okay. Sometimes it's tricky to choose words. The officer asked politely, and I could answer slowly. I am here for vacation. Simple, clear, and correct.
Right. And vocabulary here: customs, immigration officer, passport, visa, trip, vacation.
Yes, and sometimes funny situations happen at customs. A friend of mine tried to joke with the officer. Big mistake. He said something funny, but the officer didn't understand.
Oh yes, humor is tricky in a new language, but it's okay. Better to be polite and clear.
Exactly. And here's a tip. Always have your passport and documents ready. And if you don't understand a question,
Say, "Sorry, could you repeat that slowly?"
Perfect advice. And another story, once I put my snacks in my backpack and didn't declare them. The officer smiled, but asked, "Did you pack this yourself?" I was a little embarrassed, but honest answers are always best.
Yes, honesty and politeness solve most problems. And sometimes these little stories are funny to tell friends later.
Absolutely. Airports are full of small adventures. And for our listeners, don't worry if something goes wrong. You will always learn new words and phrases.
Exactly. And remember, the more you travel, the more confident you become. Every small mistake is a lesson in vocabulary, phrases, and pronunciation.
And that's why our podcast is helpful. You learn not only the words, but also how to use them in real-life situations, sometimes funny or a little embarrassing, but always useful.
Yes. And for a last tip in this part, if you forget a word, describe it. For example, if you forget boarding pass, you can say, "The paper you show to get on the plane." People will understand.
Perfect. That's a great strategy. And for listeners, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a chance to learn.
Exactly. And airports are like a small classroom where everything you see and do can help you practice English.
Okay, Lisa, we're reaching the end of our airport adventure today. Let's give our listeners a little summary of what we learned.
Yes. So today we practiced vocabulary about airports, asking for help, signs, customs, immigration, tickets, gates, and even some funny situations.
Exactly. And let's remind our listeners of a few key phrases.
Excuse me, could you help me?
I'm looking for gate 15.
Where's the restroom, please?
Could you repeat that slowly?
And of course, I'm here for vacation/trip.
Yes, and remember listeners, don't rush. Speak slowly and clearly. Airports can be confusing, but with practice, you'll feel confident.
And if something funny or awkward happens, laugh and keep going. Everyone makes little mistakes when traveling abroad.
Exactly. I remember I once spilled coffee on my boarding pass. Very funny moment, but I just smiled and asked for help.
Oh no, that's a classic travel story. The good thing is, you always learn new phrases and vocabulary in those moments.
Yes. And one last tip for listeners. Try to use new words in small sentences every day. For example, I'm at the airport. I need a ticket. I asked the officer for help.
Exactly. These small sentences will build your confidence and help you remember vocabulary naturally.
And another tip, practice describing situations like I forgot my passport, I went to the wrong gate, or I asked for directions.
Yes, speaking about real experiences makes English real, useful, and fun.
And for our last laugh today, remember, even if you trip on your luggage or mix up words, it's okay. Smiles and politeness go a long way at airports.
Absolutely. And it's part of learning English in real life. Mistakes are normal and funny sometimes.
So, listeners, keep practicing, stay patient, and enjoy learning English through real situations. Remember, slow and clear speaking is key, and having fun is even better.
Yes. Try to share your own funny airport stories with friends or even in English. It's a great way to practice vocabulary, sentences, and speaking naturally.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Lisa. Your stories and tips were really helpful.
Thank you, Tom. I had so much fun, and I hope our listeners feel ready to tackle airports confidently and with a smile.
And to our listeners, remember, English is not just words. It's about using them in real life, laughing at mistakes, and learning every day.
Exactly. Keep practicing slowly, repeat sentences, and enjoy the journey.
Thank you for listening to English Unleashed, slow listening practice for intermediates. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode with friends who want to improve English.
Bye, everyone. Safe travels and happy learning.
Bye. Keep speaking, keep laughing, and keep enjoying English.